Hi everybody, my name is Fiona Longmuir and I am the author of Freya's Gold. Freya's Gold is a fun seaside adventure about treasure hunting and secret tunnels, but it's also a story about a community pulling together and about learning to be brave even when you feel really scared. Freya loves living in the seaside town of Edge, and she loves searching for treasure on its sandy beaches. She steers clear of the dark cliffs and their winding smugglers' tunnels. It'd be easy to get lost in there, and she's sure that she can hear voices echoing from the caves when the wind blows. But when a stranger checks into her granny's B&B, soon everything that Freya loves about Edge is under threat. It's time for Freya to face her fears. Can she strike gold before time runs out for her town? I first got the idea for writing Freya's Gold because I love mysteries. I love reading mysteries, I love watching mysteries, I love reading things like The Famous Five, I love films like The Goonies or National Treasure where you've got a little bit of a puzzle to solve or a little bit of a mystery that you can follow along with. So I was really excited to write a story that used some of those things, that included some of those puzzles and some of those little mysteries, little machines. And when I wrote my first book, Looking for Emily, which is also set in Edge, I had mentioned the fact that Edge had these secret passageways, these secret tunnels that kind of crisscrossed underneath the town. And I just knew that I wanted to write another book where we got to explore those tunnels. So this is Phelan. Phelan also likes books, but he mostly likes to eat them. The character of Freya is one of my favourites that I've written, I think, because I've read so many books about fearless little girls, fearless, amazing, brave, bold little girls. And I love those, but I did wonder, what if you were frightened? What if you were somebody who was frightened? Could you still find the courage within yourself to do the scary thing, to be brave and go on this big adventure, even if it didn't come naturally to you? And so that really comes through in the character of Freya. She's very frightened of all the things that she faces in this story, and she has to really draw courage from kind of deep inside her heart. She borrows courage from her friends. Sometimes she's brave out of pure stubbornness. When I was a little girl, the first thing that I remember wanting to be was an inventor. And I guess now that I write stories, I am sort of an inventor, a different kind of inventing to be sure. But I loved machines, I loved puzzles, I loved trying to build little things. I once invented a device to turn my light off from across the room so that I wouldn't have to, turn off the light and then run back to my bed in the dark. I could switch off my light from my bed. And Freya has that skill too, much more than I ever did. So Freya is an inventor. She can look at things and see how they work. She likes to take machines apart and put them back together again. And this is a skill that becomes really important for her and her friends as they go on their adventure and start to explore the mysterious caves underneath Edge. I don't want to tell you what my favourite scene is in Freya's Gold because it is a massive spoiler. So you'll have to read it and find out. But my favourite bits of the book are when Freya and her friends are together. They're all very different. They all find things that they need in each other. And they're funny, they kind of take the mick out of each other. They like to play jokes on each other. But they're there for each other when they need a friend. They're all really there for each other. Freya loved Edge in summer, but it always felt like a trick. It was like a little kid in its Sunday best, sitting up straight and smiling angelically at the grown-ups. As the days started to shorten and the holidaymakers drifted back to the city, Freya knew a whole other Edge was on the way. The breeziness of the B&B turned frigid. The wind flew down narrow streets, rattling shutters and tweaking mischievously at noses and scarves. It whipped the sea into frenzied foam, coating the town in freezing, sticky salt. Clouds sat heavy in the sky, and some days it felt like the sun didn't bother to rise at all. No one came to Edge on the off-season. The transformation always made Freya uneasy. It felt like proof that even the loveliest things were hiding something dark and secret. Edge turned eerie and strange, full of looming silences and shadowy corners, and Freya's imagination always seemed to fill those corners with something terrible.